Savage Dragon 101 from July of 2002, starring Malcolm Eugene Jackson Dragon, son of Savage Dragon. Lo, there shall come a boot to the head. How quickly things change around here. We just had the 100th spectacular 10th anniversary 100-page special, and our titular hero has been booted off the cover in favor of his young son Malcolm the very next issue. Let's see what transpires in this one. First, the credits: Eric Larson story and art, Chris Eliopoulos letters, Ruben Rude colors, no Abel Motown. More on that later. And finally, Josh Eckhorn, the Kung Fu hippie from Gangsta City, a reference to the beloved cartoon character Poochie from the Itchy and Scratchy and Poochie show. Link in the description below. We're not wasting any time with this one titled Problem Child. Malcolm straight up telling Rapture, "You're not my mom." As you recall, last issue, Dragon had a nice chat with his son, telling him that his real mother was dead, and then he left for the savage world forever. Permissive parenting at its finest. So yeah, little dude is upset. Rapture here tries to dismiss these accusations and claims to be his real mother. But now we're getting into semantics. I mean, his birth mother was killed when he was a baby, and this woman has raised Malcolm for years, so what makes a mother? But this is no time for nuance. Malcolm violently lashes out, calling her a liar, and he runs off, smashing through the window, escaping off into the night and the shadows of the streets and the alleys below. Stevenson and Rapture, they set off the alarms, realizing that letting this kid talk to his father was a horrible mistake. So members of the SOS, they set out to find the runaway child. Max Damaged makes contact with Malcolm and tries to talk the kid down, but this just pisses him off, and he is punched right in his dick for his efforts. The Deadly Duo and Powerhouse, they all join the unsuccessful search party. Meanwhile, back at SOS headquarters, Stevenson's getting read the riot act here by someone off panel, and his incompetence is rewarded with a fatal laser blast that leaves him as a smoldering pile of ash. So young Damien Darklord is the murderer, and Malcolm Dragon saw the whole thing. He snuck back into the facility while everyone was out looking for him. That's pretty smart. But he's seeing red now, and he starts just beating the shit out of this kid, punching young Darklord into a bloody mess. Just raw fury unleashed. And I think we're supposed to believe that he beat him to death. And Malcolm believes he did because he asked Rapture as she enters if she is his real mother. So he believed that if he killed Darklord, it might bring back his real mom. So, boy, the therapy for this kid is going to be really expensive. But that's it. Just a 12-page story to be continued. But it's kind of a unique issue of Savage Dragon. It's split into two stories by the same creative team. This one titled Shattered Planets, Shattered Lives. You know, the idea of like splitting a comic into 2 or 3 stories is kind of a throwback to Golden Age comics. And it's useful here when you've got characters in 2 different realities and dimensions, which brings us to Jennifer and Angel Murphy. Last issue, they were reunited with the dragon as he stood in front of the crater where their home used to be. However, this is not exactly the same dragon that she had walked out on all those years ago. Dragon described in the captions here as a big dope. He explains all of this and then thoroughly confuses everyone. I'm not going to make the same mistake, so I'll just say they go to a diner, work out some exposition and character motivations, and there's a great comedic beat here where Dragon is cautious about being labeled as a deadbeat dad, so he sheepishly smiles and says his mother will take care of him, leading to this silent glance between Angel and Jennifer. Like, can you believe this guy? A lot of emotions conveyed in a wordless panel where one of the characters only uses 2 dots for eyes and 1 dot for her mouth. So some fans criticize the cartoonish representation of Angel in these comics, but I don't see the problem. It's a fun style and it works for the character, so she's great. I have a new theory about the real reason that Dragon chose to return and stay in the Savage world. You know, he has a flying car here. You know, he doesn't have this ride back on his home world, so the choice would be obvious to me. Anyway, the trio leaves the diner, heads back to Dragon's house in his flying car, and then he takes them to the basement to reveal a crazy frickin' laboratory with Kirby crackling energy everywhere. You got Rex Dexter and the Liberty League. They've built this wild-looking laboratory underneath Dragon's house. You got a portal to Dimension X back there. Mighty Man and Super Patriot are assembling this gigantic gun. What is that? Is that Reed Richards in the corner down there? No, that is Ben Blank. So back in issue 96, the same issue where he picked up that flying car, he also brought back this strange unknown man from Dimension X. This guy here. So Rex Dexter gave this dude a job to work in his lab, so I guess that's cool. I'm sure nothing will go wrong in that situation. So more chit-chat. Angel randomly picks up the Martian shrink ray, just reminding us that thing still exists. And Rex Dexter drops a bombshell. He discovers that the Devourer of Worlds, Universo, is heading their way. And that's bad news. That's going to be a real problem for everybody. And this gigantic gun is supposed to stop him, I guess. Excuse me. We'll see. Anyway, they decide to get a hotel for the evening. Dragon and Jennifer get romantic after the kid falls asleep. So in the end, I guess Dragon didn't screw up too badly by telling her the truth. Pretty enjoyable 10-page story. On to Fanatics. The big news is that colorist Abel Motown is leaving the book after 10 years of coloring 100 issues of Savage Dragon. So no drama or anything. He's just kind of tired and ready to move on. Larson bids him a fond farewell, thanking his longtime collaborator, Mouton. I've been mispronouncing his name the entire time as Motown, but oh well. Let's see. Then Larson plugs a new album by the band Einstein's Sister called Humble Creatures. I'll link to the album in the description if you want to give it a listen. But once again, I didn't really enjoy the music recommended by Larson. He's got a particular taste that I do not share. Maybe you do. So the letters from fans, mostly regarding issue 98. Very excited for issue 100. Rob Stewart there wants to see more of the shrew, but don't hold your breath. It's about 4 pages of letters, nothing too noteworthy. I love this pinup by Rascal Ferry. Very cool modern style. Kind of a graffiti thing going on. And he's a working artist to this day. I believe he's working on the new Mortal Thor series for Marvel Comics, on shelves now. Here's Comic Bits by Chris Giarusso. So G-Man has to wear his new glasses to school, and he's afraid of the other kids teasing him, which they do, calling him Four Eyes. And he retorts, well, 4 eyes are better than 2. And so the bullies are stunned by this logic, and they can see that their words can no longer hurt him. So they beat the crap out of him instead. Oh man, it's tough to ignore that right-hand page, but give me a moment to mention Savage Tales by Nick Darrington, featuring the Deadly Duo. They lost the keys to the jet, so Killcat has to ride Kid Avenger like they were the ambiguously gay duo. But enough jokes, man. Check out this insane-looking version of the Dragon by none other than Sam Keith, creator of the Max. So apparently Sam was slated to work on the Possessed story in issue 100, but he had to pull out of the project, and Mike Royer completed the comic, but Larson didn't want to waste the pages that Sam had done, so he's printing them here. And look how fucking cool that is, man. This half-completed page with Dragon down here, and then this full page with Horde looking more gnarly than ever. I love Sam Keith, and he's one of like the first artists whose style was like instantly recognizable to me, no matter what character he was drawing. Just an all-time badass. Even more back here. It's great. Right next to the Image Insider from October of 2002. So that might give you an idea how late this book was, actually. The cover said July, but it says October here, so we got a 4-month discrepancy. Not unheard of for Image Comics, but anyway, this is interesting. Where have the heroes gone? This is an announcement of 5 new superhero titles being launched by Image Comics in 2003. They don't mention the names of the books. They just say that they will all take place in the same universe. So they're talking about Invincible, which the first appearance is next issue, Fire Breather, Noble Causes, The Brit. I can't think of the 5th. But while Invincible is like huge now, this editorial is kind of incorrect because superhero comics are not the savior of Image. It's the other Kirkman book that premieres in 2003 that truly rights the ship, and that's The Walking Dead. We're just at the turning point where Robert Kirkman is about to start the 2 series that would define his career and redefine Image Comics for the 21st century. Just leaving an ad for the new collected edition, Savage Dragon terminated when he lost his job as a police officer. All right, enough of all that. Time to wrap this up. Come back again for issue 102. Adios.